Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning to everybody. Good morning, LaDonna, in
Good
your
morning.
Greenland.
Green.
Get
My
your
favorite
green up.
color.
Yes, I have. I'll admit, so I have I have to do an online thing early this morning, but I have my inclusionist shirt on. See if I go like that, you can see the writing.
Yeah.
If I just kind of slump a little bit, then you can't see. But I wanted to keep my inclusion shirt on, but I didn't want everybody to see. I don't know if you guys have to do this when I come onto Zoom. I'm not, of course, I'm not very good with technology, but I have to get out of so many things to be able to see things. And I'm like, okay, I have to press OK. Okay, it's being recorded. Okay, it's a live session. Okay. And I'm like, okay, now I can finally see, It's- can you imagine the difficulties of my life? Um,
First world problems.
First world problems, man. Brandon and I were in here talking about on days like this when it's rainy, you have a great appreciation for people who uh, every day of their lives work outside in the elements. It's a lot. It's a lot on days like this.
Yep. My husband, he had to suit up today in his rain gear.
If you're working outside today, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do. I do just enough of it to go, whoo, that's a difficult job. All right. Well, today is January the 27th. We are in our Fully Awake 365. Look at that eye right there. Look at that. That eye should scare away a lot of religious people, Donna, because it looks like the eye of Ra.
Or yeah.
The
The
eye of
early eye of
Horus is
Horus. Yeah.
coming to put demons in your house. You must cleanse this temple. Brady and I bought a house. It's so funny. The other night, welcome. We just do this. The other night, Mom and I were at the inauguration of the incoming CEO, Madam Lorraine Cochran Johnson, very very precious woman. And so we were sitting like two rows over from Congressman Hank Johnson, who has been a great congressman for the state of Georgia and nationally. So Brandon and I bought our first house from him and his wife, which is kind of bizarre, but we did buy our first house. It was a house that they owned. And when we went in to walk through the house to see if we were interested in buying it, they had one of the bedrooms was like a meditation room, and they had like all types of they had like little Buddha and little things written in.
Little shrine.
They had like a little shrine where they would like meditate every day. And man, I was so religious. I thought I thought I was so cutting edge with my theology. Brandon, and I were like, we need to come in here and pray. We need to cast the Buddhist spirits out of this house.
Oh
Jesus,
my
Jesus is
gosh.
my savior. How far have we come since
Oh, I
then?
know. Just quickly, when my husband first had his salvation experience, he had been raised, he had been raised Catholic, and his mom was Catholic. So the first thing he did was he came home and he threw all of her little Mary statues and candles away, and she had a fit. And she said, he said that's the first time she had ever really stood up to him that way. He said she grabbed him by the and said, "You will not mess with my relationship with God." And said, "Okay, mom." And so he rebought her all her little statues.
If I want to pray to Mary, you get up out of my business, son. Isn't it interesting? We think the God of the universe of billions of galaxies is really concerned about exactly how we connect to that idea. But some people think that. All right, we are going to talk today about deserving good. I deserve good. Maybe personalize it. You deserve good. We're in the month of letting go. And I woke up this morning. I was a little sleepless. It's raining, and it kind of woke me up. I was worried about the animals. We have cats in our neighborhood, LaDonna, that I worry about in the rain. I do worry about them. So I go out this morning to take Lola to do her little business outside. And under our porch, there's a cat just sitting there looking at me like, if you don't say anything, I want to like, I'm not gonna say anything. Because if Lola saw the cat, she would start going berserk. And so it was just trying to get out of the rain. It was just under our little thing, but it was just sitting there looking at me like, what you gonna do? I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. You stay right there. It's all good.
We're cool.
We're cool. Just don't make a scene and Lola won't see you. Yeah, just stay off the couches. Don't be scratching on the couches outside. But other than that, anyway, so I woke up to I checked my Instagram and I had a message from Charnice. Good morning, Miss Charnice, if you're on. And she sent me, I didn't know how how profound the late writer Rod Temperton was. You might know that name, LaDonna. Rod
Oh
Temperton. He was
yeah.
in Wave. He composed a lot of things with Quincy
He wrote a
Jones, but
lot of music for a lot of those 60s, 70s groups.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
George Benson, a lot of them. Anyway, but so she was like, "Do yourself a favor, download the Rod Temperton playlist," and I did. I was like, "Oh Lord, this dude was a god." I mean, he wrote for everybody. So this is one of his original songs. He was the original writer, but he's not the performer of it, and he's not in this band, I don't think. So see if you recognize the song and the artist.
Whenever dark is falling, you know the spirit of the party starts to come alive until the day is dawning. We can throw out all the blues and hit the city lights, 'cause there's music in the air and lots of loving everywhere. So give me the night, give me the night. Action.
I'll pause it and skip.
Yeah, I want you guys to hear the bridge. The bridge is so good for the pre
Oh yeah.
So come on out tonight,
There it is.
and we'll lead the others on a ride to paradise. And if you feel alright, then we can be lovers, 'cause I see that starlight look in your eyes. But don't you know we can fly? Just give me the night.
All right. Sorry, I could not turn this. I know I couldn't turn the song off until we got to the bridge. The bridge is so good. Magic in the air, love everywhere. So come on out tonight. It's so good. All right, Brendan.
So sometimes, because I am in somewhat of a different generation than the two of you,
That's true.
You are.
Well,
occasionally,
I'm in a different generation than the
I know.
woman in green, just letting you know.
Not really. We're within 10 years.
We're both Xers.
Very
You're
close.
barely
She
an
and
Xer.
she and I are 15 years apart.
yeah.
15 years, yeah.
So occasionally though, I'm thinking, oh, I should know this song, but for the most part, you guys have taught me well. I know most, I at least recognize. Now, I never know the artists. I never, but this one, as soon as Dee played this a few minutes ago before we went live, I was like over here kind of dancing. I love this song. Anyway, people were in quick with the guesses.
Oh,
So
nice.
apparently a lot of people know this one as well. Dr. Sharonda's on. Let's see, Zoom here, and Miss Bobby. Okay, Dr. Sharonda guessed Cool in the Gang.
That's not correct, but similar
Close.
genre. Similar.
Okay, so that let's see who on YouTube. Now, Rest in Peace was in first with it quick with the
Rest in
artists.
peace.
Sandra Mack, Robbie, Dr. Ray, Myrna, Durante, let's see, Laverne, Jacoby, Aaron, Clary. Who else is on here? Shannon and Alita. Okay, I think everybody on YouTube, our YouTube gang, got the artist and the song. I'll let you reveal.
Wow. George Benson.
Benson. Yep.
George Benson, yeah. Did George Benson LaDonna also write the song that was he was on Broadway?
Yes, that's
On
him.
Broadway.
I love
Um,
George Benson.
Man, that on Broadway song has a good hook to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about George Benson. That song in particular that you just played, his background vocals are just as important as the lead. All those
Yeah.
it's like they're totally part of this. It's like they're more than just background vocals.
That's how it's first time I heard Richard Smallwood's and Vision in person. Of course, I was taken with Richard Smallwood because my mother is a fabulous pianist, and I rarely see somebody who does runs like her. And I was like, okay, Richard Smallwood is an amazing pianist. He is crazy good, but his backup singers, I was like,
Best.
what is this?
Yeah.
What meaneth this harmony? It was so powerful. Anyway, okay, so thanks for having 11 minutes with us this morning of talking about Jordan Benson. We're going to have a devotion this morning. So we're going to talk about I deserve good,
And
turning
the
it to
affirmation is going to be another 11 minutes. Because
if you have to go to work, we apologize. It just means you deserve good this morning. So see you later.
Okay. Today, I am finally aware and fully awake to the truth that I create my life experience by my thoughts, words, and choices. However, I am also aware that I don't deserve some of the things I have created. I can even completely own the negative things I create without being convinced that I deserve anything negative in my life. Because I am created from love, and by having a loving creator, I know that I deserve love, peace, joy, and happiness. Anything and anyone who tells me differently must be silenced.
Must be silence, silencio. So what happens sometimes in the human experience is if there are some common repeating cycles, we play into this idea of generational curses, or maybe we just kind of acquiesce, kind of que sera, whatever will be, will be. I'm kind of just kind of stuck in this experience. It could be family choices, cultures, consciousness. It could also be an exposure to systemic injustice. I certainly understand the collective consciousness as well, or at least aware of it. But sometimes that can play on us that, well, this is the only experience of life I'm ever going to have. And so we have to be kind of aware that not to just accept, as my sister would probably remember the writer of this, do not go quietly into that good night.
Yeah.
And it's talking about death. I think the poem is talking about death, but the metaphor is don't go quietly into anything. Don't just accept don't just accept the status quo. Speak truth to power in your own personal life. If you're not happy, you don't just have to accept that this is the way things are. Even if you're going to remain unhappy, be unhappy trying to get happy. Don't just accept it. But the point is, as we kind of or put this in conversation with new thought, ancient wisdom, or creating our lives from our mindset, that yes, we do think things and then they show up in our lives. We choose things and they show up in our lives, and so we get that. However, even though sometimes what we reap in our lives are just seeds that we've sown, if it's a bad reaping, you still don't deserve it. That's what we're saying. So the point of the devotion today is not that we don't create bad things, not that bad things don't happen, but that as a person, a spirit of love that comes from a space of love, yes, bad things are going to happen. Sometimes they're not our fault. Sometimes they are things of our own creation. It still doesn't mean that you deserve to live in unhappiness or in a lack of peace. And so don't allow your mind to perceive that you deserve that. I'll tell a real quick story, but we had bought our present property at 2915 Midway Road, and we were just in there, and for the first time in years, maybe in more than a decade, my personal family, me, Brandy, LaDonna, my parents, the Pauks, and then of course our small staff, we had been through quite a storm for a long time. And we were having to learn how to live in peace. We didn't know what that really was. And so I remember we were sitting in the fellowship hall. We didn't have any carpet in there yet. We'd had to totally renovate most of the building. And I think we were kind of arguing over the paint color of the walls. Either the paint color or it doesn't matter, the carpet. But I remember I just stopped the conversation. I said, can we just stop our bickering for a moment? Isn't it wonderful that we're
This is
upset
the
about the
biggest
color of
problem
the
we have.
walls?
Yeah.
Let's give thanks, people. Everyone stop. Let's stand up and have a praise break. Just have a praise break, praise break. We're concerned about whether we're going to paint it yellow or gold. God is so good to us.
Great problem to have. Yeah.
The great problem that our family is upset about gold or yellow. Who gives a crap? I mean, of course it's important. Colors are important, but we had been through such a season of difficulty that we weren't exactly sure how to live in peace. Yes, you should work out what color you want to paint your walls, but really just stop sometimes and go, if this is the worst problem I have today, thank God. Thank God for a season of peace that I perceive this as a problem. Sometimes when we live in drama for most of our lives, we don't know how to live in peace. It just seems weird to not have someone to gossip about or something to be anxious about. All right, so the second paragraph, look at the very bottom. It says, whatever we reap is something that we have sown. We get that principle. However, or nonetheless, your Creator desires for you to be at peace and to live in prosperity. Don't convince yourself you don't deserve good things. You do. Start creating them today. So whatever we experience is usually of our own making or exposure to the collective consciousness. But if they're not good things, you have to accept that it's not good. However, don't convince yourself that you don't deserve good. Whatever our life, we deserve to experience good things. So start creating good things today, like listening to George Benson all day. Amen. All right, back to you.
All day.
All day. Yeah.
All right, our ending prayer is, ultimate God, I know the plans you have for me and that you desire good things for me. Help me to accept that I deserve them. Amen.
I deserve them. Yes, ultimate good. We deserve good things because you come from ultimate good. We are good. All right, looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning, whether it's in person or virtually. Our connection service, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. And then tomorrow night, I'll be doing kind of a live before and after talk back and Q&A session on the sermon that I gave at Morehouse College on the theological progression of Carlton Pearson. That was kind of the setup of him being inducted into their Hall of Fame. And so looking forward to seeing you then Wednesday night. Inclusion 101. Have a great rest of your day. So give me the night. Go in peace.